Let's get straight into my Friday night panel. Research fellow at the Institute of Public Affairs, Mia Schlicht, and Sky News regular Joe Hildebrand. Welcome, guys. Now, news today that so-called ISIS brides who have been in Syria now returned to Australia. This is a pretty controversial topic. Mia, your thoughts? Is this a good thing, and should Australians be concerned?
Well, listen, on this point, I really think the federal government just needs to be honest with Australians. A concern was raised not too long ago about the possibility that these ISIS brides be brought back to Australia, and the federal government told us that it wouldn't happen, and well, now it's happened. So I think Australians are very, very valid to be sitting there saying, hey, you need to be upfront and honest with us about what's changed.
Joe, there's been remarks from the Assyrian community here in Australia saying, the Assyrian Christian community say they're very worried about people coming back from Syria, having been there supporting ISIS. Are their worries well-founded?
Yeah, I think it's obviously very concerning. The question is, what else do you do? I mean, on top of the fact that you've got these ISIS brides, they have children, and those children were born in Australia in the most part. They are Australian citizens, and an Australian citizen is entitled to return home to Australia. This is not something the federal government itself has done. This is something that was done by the people themselves. The question is, can the federal government then strip these adults or even children of their citizenship? And if they're not a citizen of another country, I believe that's illegal or impossible to do. So it is something we have to do. They will need to be monitored and watched very, very closely. But of course, it is a worry.
All right, let's lighten things up a little bit. I think days after Donald Trump said climate change is a scam, the Pope has presided over a bizarre ceremony during which he blessed a block of ice. Take a look. OK, but it got weirder. After blessing the slab of ice, he lingered while a bunch of oddballs pranced around with a giant bedsheet simulating rivers or something.
Lauda to si, mi Signore, con tutte le tue creature.
Mia, the Pope slammed people who ridicule the idea of global warming. Do we need a woke Pope?
Yeah, this is one of the more extraordinary things I've seen. No, I don't think we need a woke Pope. Listen, I'm Catholic. I'm a huge supporter of the Catholic Church. I think the Catholic Church has done great things for many Christians all around the world. Just look at John Paul II. He did a great job saving the West. And I really hope that Pope Leo doesn't make this his crusade, because I think it's off the mark. I don't think it's what the base thinks. I don't think it's what the base supports. So yes, I hope this doesn't become a key focus of his.
Joe, should the Pope be speaking out about climate change, or are there other things happening around the globe right now that, as the leader of the Christian Church, maybe he should be a little more focused on?
Well, I like Mia even more now that I know she's a Catholic, so she's part of the one true church. And James, you dirty proddies, I still haven't forgiven you for the Reformation, so just take that on board. But look, the Catholic Church has always been very strong on environmentalism generally, because of course it sees the environment as God's creation. And so it has, I think, perhaps surprised a lot of conservatives by being very, very proactive and all in on climate change. There are, of course, a lot of other really big problems the Catholic Church does focus on. It is, I think, the most, the strongest advocate and do-gooder against poverty and alleviating poverty. And that's part of the reason why I love it and respect it so much. But that block of ice is pretty weird. And I'm pretty sure it's not the kind of ice that Donald Trump is used to dealing with.
I reckon you're right. It was a very weird church service. I don't know what was going on there, but anyway, that's the state
not like
of
any
the
mass
Catholic
I've been
Church
to recently.
at the moment. There's a lot more to the Catholic Church than just that, I got to say. Mia and Joe, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it.